What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another session of Coffee and Martial Arts. Salud, salud, salud. Cheers. Oh, yes, yes. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to our show. We have a great show for you today. It's that day of the month, the first Thursday of the month, when we have our great collaborator, Guro Kathrin Sumpter. But before we go with her, you know me, I like to make the proper announcements. I got them. Okay, so just remember that we are going live through our Facebook page, Master Frank Soto Kinetic Dragon. So please like, subscribe, and follow us on Facebook. That really helps. We're also going live through our YouTube channel, the Kinetic Dragon channel. If you can subscribe to the channel and click on the little bell so you get notified every time we go live. Yes, please. That really helps us a lot. And you can see all the stuff that we put out there, okay? And all these wonderful interviews and all these amazing martial artists and amazing people that we bring in, okay? Everybody has a story to share, right? And they're all interesting in their own ways. Good. We're also going live through the Internacional with a C Hall of Fame page of Argentina. That's a strong group of martial artists that are doing their thing down there to promote the martial arts. That's the cover of the magazine of the month of March, Revista International Magazine Hall of Fame, Argentina, okay? And always there's an article. We're always collaborating with this wonderful publication made by Master Juan Martín Álvarez. Saludos al Master, okay? So please check it out, okay? Good. We are also... well, we are ready today, right? So please like and share this video, okay? That really helps. And please always leave your comment and ask your questions, okay? This is for you that are watching, for you that are out there. Your comments, your questions are very, very good. There's no such thing as bad question. The only bad question is the one that you don't ask, okay? So please ask questions and share this with everybody, okay? So, we have people saying hello, but let's bring in our collaborator, Filipino martial arts specialist, and that has her own section in this show, the Wade Ward. Let's bring in Guro Kathrin Sumpter. Hello, Guro.
Good morning, Master Frank.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Good. I need more. Okay. So how you doing today?
Very good. Very good. Thank you so much for having me again.
Oh, it's always a pleasure and an honor to have you here. You know, I really enjoy our first Thursdays of the month because we always get to talk about so many interesting topics and people seem to like because we get many good comments. So thank you for being here. So, but before we start, let's say Shakir M says hello. Hello. Jose Luis Molina, os. Maestro Bagelis Drosos from Greece says, salute, Master Frank. Salute, sir. Daniel Tavares, hello from Colombia. Hola. Antonio Jordan, what did you say? Saludos, mi estimado. Okay. Making fun of English. No, he understands. But, okay, so it's nice to have you here. What do you have for us today? What do you want to talk about?
Well, this is so, you know, sometimes I consider your platform just a great source of information. Yeah, I'd love to talk about grading and testing. April is a busy month for me as far as testing.
Okay.
You know, you have so many seasoned practitioners and so many instructors. I'm always interested in seeing what other people are doing in the way of grading and testing, colored belts, black belt testing,
okay.
Whatever it is. So yeah, I'm very interested in that. I know that, you know, I have a relatively small school. I have 40 students. And so one of the things that I do, I know that some of the larger schools, in the interest of efficiency, they'll host grading, you know, perhaps every quarter. And I think there's a lot of value in that. I think that if people have scheduled testing throughout the year, perhaps they'll wait for that vacation or whatever. Perhaps if they don't grade on a particular time, they'll know that in 3 or 4 months there'll be another grading opportunity. So I really see the value in that. I've often thought of that. I guess with my school, it's small enough where I can, I don't know, maybe be a little bit more flexible and perhaps grade people when they're ready. So there's something to be said for that too. But I'm always interested in hearing what people do. I guess another thing, maybe talk about testing fees. That's something that I don't do. I don't charge testing fees. I understand why people do. I do charge for my time. I guess one of the things that I've seen is that I don't know. It just somehow doesn't sit well with me that the higher rank you test for, the higher your fee. And there's something that just seems strange to me about that. I think that when you get into some of the black belt ranks, you can be paying hundreds of dollars, maybe even into the thousands to test for higher black belt ranks.
Okay.
And I don't know. There's something about that just, like I said, it doesn't sit well with me. I understand. Okay. I understand why people do it. So I'll charge for my time, but the fee is always the same, regardless of what rank you're testing for.
Okay. Let's see. Talking about seasoned and teachers and instructors or martial artists, Mr. Edward Chavez, Arizona here. Hello, sir. Scorch 1028, Master Frank. Hello from Miami, Florida. Oh, hello. Sorry. Maestro Jaime Durán. Saludos. What's up? Saludos. Héctor Baltazar. Saludos from Chile. Second degree black belt IKKA from Viña del Mar. Saludos. Gracias. Alicia Aranda. Mi estimado. Hello, Jerry. Gerardo Lozano. Salud. Jimmy Aguilar Yepes. Good afternoon. Buenas tardes. Okay, so we have two things that you mentioned in here. First, you started talking about the importance of grading, and then you went into fees. So what do you want to start with?
Yeah. Well, I guess the testing, the time frames and when students are ready to test. I know I often tell my students who, sometimes I'll have a husband and wife sign up together, or siblings will sign up together, or friends will sign up together. And perhaps somebody works a little harder than the other one. Perhaps they have an affinity. Perhaps they're ready first. And oftentimes I've seen people say, oh, well, I want to wait for my spouse, or I'll test when my friend tests. And I really encourage people not to do that. I mean, if you're ready, it really is a solo path that we're on. And I encourage people to promote when they are themselves ready and not wait for other people. And for me, if somebody is within a month or so of being ready, I'll wait because testing is a lot of work, and I get that. But if somebody's ready, let's go. Let's get you tested and get you going.
Okay. I believe, yes, that testing should be an individual thing. Definitely. It matters to the individual, and that you shouldn't compare yourself with the rest of your fellow companions or training partners or whatever. You should compare yourself with yourself. Check on your own level of advancement, right? So if you're better than last week or better than last month, and you're achieving your goals, and you got that you're ready for testing, I think testing it's a good tool. Definitely. Rank, it's a good tool because it also promotes meritocracy. So you have to earn your rank, right? Especially when you do it that way. Now, there's always a downside to testing. Yes, of course, because there's people that don't want to test, that they're not interested in that. And you need to encourage them. But I think one of the things as instructors that one of our responsibilities, or the things that we need to do, is we need to inspire people to, and inspire them to test and to try and to learn the stuff. And that's why I believe belts are a good thing. For a while, I didn't like the belts. For a while, I didn't like grading. I thought uh, it can become an abuse tool, right?
Oh, certainly.
And some people will call it the McDojos, for example. Which term I don't like the term. I don't think it's a bad thing to have a commercial school or a commercial dojo. I think it's a good thing if we can make solid business out of what we do and what we love. I think it's a good thing, right? And that's why I understand testing fees. I don't think
Oh
it's a
yeah,
bad thing.
I do. Yeah,
I
I
don't.
do too. I get it.
I mean,
Yeah.
some people, they have to pay their bills, and it's another way to make money. And it's it is what it is. But um, the problem is when you make it. For example, there are some schools that you have to test with the group, right? They kind of make you that if you're a part of a group, or you go into group classes, you have to test with everybody, and you have to go for your rank, and that's when it can be not such a good idea from my point of view. I like what you said, that it has to be something personal. I really think that too. I think it's a good tool, especially if it motivates the student, and it gives you a map. It tells you where you're at, right? You're in point A and you want to get to C, and it takes you from B, C, D, E, or whatever. You go through
Certainly.
all the steps, and so I'm in a green belt level, or a brown belt level, or a orange belt level, or whatever, and I'm gonna get eventually to black belt, right? And I want to go up that ladder as well. So those are steps, and I think they're very important. So I definitely agree with rank and grading. I think it's a good tool.
And
We have
people, yeah, they're excelling at different rates, So, like you said, you don't want to compare yourself to others. And people excel at different curriculum at different rates. And it's really just a benchmark. It's one of the many benchmarks, right, in success.
yeah,
So,
and I think when a student tests and they pass the test, right, when they do a good job and they pass the test in front of everybody, their peers, or the families, or whatever who's there, the audience who's there to watch the test, I think it's a big deal. I really believe so. I think it's good. It's good for building confidence, and I think it's also very, very important that the students feels that they have earned their rank, that it was not just given, that you earned the rank, you put in the time, you learn the requirements, you pass the test, you gain the skills, so now you are entitled to wear that next belt. I think that's really, really important.
and I think I agree. And I think it's also fair to say that you step into your rank before you ever promote. If you're testing for your gold belt, whatever it is, you've been there for a while. Now it's just time to demonstrate to your friends and your family, and to have that formal event to mark your progression, because you've been there, you're already there, right? I think that an instructor worth their salt, perhaps, you've already been that rank for a while, and that the testing is just a show of your progression.
Yeah, yes. And I also believe that, I mean, I agree to a certain point that a martial arts training, it's a solo path, but it's definitely, you're not alone. I mean,
No.
in testing, it's a proof of that, because when you test, you're sharing what's important for you with the ones you love, right? You're sharing that part of your life that it's, I mean, for me, martial arts is super important, right? I can say that for me, it's sacred. So when I share that part with somebody that I care, right, it makes me feel good, because I'm sharing something that's special for me, right? And I
Yes,
think
of
that
course. Yeah.
that's important, because we are humans are we we're tribal, right? We like to be a part of the tribe. That's how we evolve, right? But let me just say we have people saying hello here. Axel Cardenas Sensei, big hug, Guro Kathrin from Chile. Maestro Sami Ibrahim, greetings, salute, right on. A good tool as long as students are constantly reminded that they are almost ready to start learning the art.
No.
Yes, yes. You know, black belt means that you are basically you're ready to start learning the art. It doesn't mean that you are the man, right? But yes, cool.
Fair
Thank you,
enough.
Sammy. Thank you, sir. Maestro, Grandmaster Jerry Arrechea. Best regards, Master Catherine and Master Frank. Thank you, sir. Saludos. Sammy says, I mean that they need to look at it always, as a start and never the end.
Right. Fair enough.
Nice, nice. Thank you, sir. Maestro Jaime Duran says the high rank must be earned. If you practice and get more knowledge and skills, if you are teaching and sharing your knowledge and experience, or if you are a competitor and participate in tournaments. Agree. Rank
Agreed.
must
Yeah,
be earned. That's
absolutely.
important. And that's one of the things. Rank must be earned, not given. So I don't care if you charge thousands of dollars or you don't charge anything, the student has to earn the rank. It's not about paying for the rank with money or with just showing up. You have to earn the rank, right?
Mhm. Yes.
I don't go into the things of charging stuff because that's very personal as well. I believe it's personal. And I understand why the fees are there and why they get
Mm.
more expensive or you have to pay higher fees when you're in a black belt level because that comes from the model of university.
Mhm.
I mean, when you get graduated from college or from university and you get your degree, I don't know how
Mhm.
it's in the state, but here in Mexico, you have to pay a lot of money to get that degree. Just to test and get that degree, you have to pay big bucks. You really do.
Same here. Same in
So
this country.
so
Mhm.
yeah, of course, because we are always copying the model from the US. That's basically what we do here in Mexico. So we're following your lead in a lot of sense. And in education or college and all that, we're always copying the model of the States. So basically, I think it comes from there. And it's
Mhm.
also, I guess, it can be a way for people to respect uh, that rank a little bit more, to appreciate it more. I guess it
Mhm.
could be seen that like that, right?
Mhm.
I mean, I paid a lot of money for this. I'm not going to give it away. I put my time, I learn the stuff, I train, and then I pay extra money. So I'm going to be very careful with this. And also, I guess once you give a certificate away, it also has your. I mean, as an instructor, you're responsible at least for giving that rank, right?
Mhm.
It has your signature as well. So
Of course.
I
Yeah.
I think there's
Mhm.
also a shared responsibility there.
Mhm. Well, I think
Uh,
also too with rank promotion, I think it no matter what rank you're testing for, even in the perhaps the novice ranks, it's such a big deal. It's such a big deal because most people quit. It's hard, right? So the higher up you get, the fewer of you there are. You know, people don't like to do stuff that's hard, but usually the difficult things are the things that are worth it.
sure,
So
sure.
I definitely remind my students it's a big deal. It's such a big deal. Um, it's yeah, it's an important benchmark, but one of the many.
You know, I always tell the student that a black belt doesn't mean anything. And I always tell them, look, for me, a black belt doesn't mean anything. But this comes from a guy who earned a black belt more than 20 years ago. Before I got the black belt, it was everything for me. I wanted that black belt so badly, right?
It's
And now that I have
good.
it,
It's
it's
good.
like, oh, yeah, who cares? It's just a piece of clothing. Yeah, of course, to the one that already has earned the black belt, right?
Exactly.
So does it mean,
Yes.
is it a symbol? Yes, of course. Is it important? Yes, it is. And because it sets a goal, right? and it gives you that sense of personal achievement. That's what it is. You get that sense of personal achievement, definitely. Let's see. We have some people saying something. So let's see. Manuel Ponce says, "Greeting master from Hong Kong." Wow. Saludos. Thank you. José Miguel Ponce, saludos. Saludos, maestro. Thank you. De Ecuador. Saludos from Ecuador. Scorch 1028 says, "What if a belt fee was only the cost of the belt awarded to the student?" What if? It could be. Okay. It depends on the school and it depends on the association. Also, we need to understand that if you're a part of a bigger group or an association that does things for you, right? That's putting material out there, that is doing promotion, that has a presence internationally, worldwide, or whatever, and they're giving you that rank, it has some type of prestige. You have to pay for that. That's the easier way. It's the simpler way and the easier way that we have figured out until today. You're going to give me a service or something, and I pay it to you, and the matter is settled. So if you see it as a practicality, you gave me something, I pay you. Now you don't know me and I don't know you. That's a good deal. That's a good deal.
It could be too that, I'm coming from a place of, really always running a smaller school. And so this is the point of view I have.
And I understand. And I actually, with my students, I shouldn't say this. I'm sorry, I shouldn't say this, but with my students here, I have a small dojo as well, private dojo. With my students here, I don't charge them test fees. But with students internationally, if they want, my logo and my signature, I sure as hell do charge.
No, that's fair enough. Yeah. So do you charge for your time?
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Of course. Yes.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Actually, in my virtual academy, I'm not. I used to, but not anymore. I don't charge for certification, but I do charge you for the class, the virtual hour.
Yes. Yeah. Fair enough.
Some students don't know this, but usually I said, well, a certification is like, I don't know, $40, for example, or $50. That's basically you're paying for me being sitting here for an hour, giving you my time, because of course, time is the most valuable asset that we have, and you're not going to get that back. So if you're going to want my time as a professional, well, I need to get paid because, well, I need to make a living, right? So I think it's kind of the same thing, right? With testing and everything. I think, and it's something very, very personal. But I see what you're saying, and I think it's valid and it's good. If it works for you, it's good. But like I said, if people want to charge a lot of money for their test and people are paying for it, but then it's still let's an agreement, right? You're agreeing, and if you don't like it, well, go somewhere else and get ranked from somebody else. I think it goes down to that, right? I agree to the terms. I think they're fair, then I'll do it. I don't think it's fair, then I don't do it. It's also valid. I think it's
I don't not for a moment do I admonish schools for charging testing fees. I get it. I really do. I mean, I'm small enough to where I can make these kinds of decisions and have that flexibility, testing people when I want to, and charging the fees that I want to charge, even if it is, just for my time. I have friends that have large schools. One in particular, I think they're at like 250 students. It's a big operation, and so
right.
You're right. You're not just charging for your time. You got to keep those lights on too. And
there's one other thing that I would like to add to this. I'm sorry to interrupt. There's one more.
Oh, no. Go ahead.
If something is free, it doesn't have value because it's free. It's for free. If you're giving it for free, it means the message you're giving it doesn't have any value. It's for free. So it's important to put some type of value into the things that you give away.
Mhm.
You need to charge for them, whatever. If it's not money, you need to charge. You need to have that type of agreement. Otherwise, it's not balanced.
Mhm.
You're giving something out and you're not getting something in return. There's an imbalance there, and that's not a good thing.
It took me a long time to understand that. I think as a new black belt, there's a real pull to give back and to share it with everybody. You know, you're so enthusiastic and you really want to give this stuff away, and you think that the whole world would be better off if they were doing martial arts, and how can you help? And it took me years to understand that it's a good thing to charge people. And you know, I gave a lot away, and I still do. I still give a lot away, but it's not the same.
No, well, it's good. I mean, the problem with charging for your work is that you need to put value into your time. How much does my time is worth?
Mhm.
How much value do I put into myself? My hour, how
Yes.
much am I going to charge for an hour of teaching? Is it going to be $50, $10, $100?
Mhm.
I need to say this is what I'm worth. And that's not easy for people. It's not easy.
It's not easy to talk about money. And
No,
you get what you, by the way, you also get what you pay for. And so if you think your fees are
thank you.
high, or you're a little tentative about charging a little bit more, think about perhaps what the student is getting out of it.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Mr. Abraham says teachers need to eat, and teaching, especially teaching martial arts. It's hard work. It is easy to underappreciate the sacrifice of a teacher, as teachers often are so humble and they want to help. See, this is what you were saying, right?
Right.
And
Fair
then he says,
enough.
but I think students need to find ways to take care of their teacher. If a student is learning for free, they should contribute in some other way.
Mhm.
Uh, for example, bring the teacher food, drinks, and gifts regularly if they don't charge. That's something that people do. Yeah, I mean, it could be any way. For example, I have my son. My older son is taking lessons from my student Hector. Hector, the one that always helps me out. He has his own place, and we are taking. My older son is taking lessons from him because, well, it works well for us. And
Good.
and
Yeah,
Hector
that's
doesn't
great.
want to charge me anything, right? I said, Hector, please, I want to pay you. This is what you do. No, I'm not going to charge you for your kid's lessons, right? He doesn't want to charge because I'm his teacher. But yeah, but you're not giving it to me. You're teaching my kid. No, and he doesn't let us pay. So my kid, who he's 20 now, he bakes very nice bread. So from time to time, he takes bread to Hector and makes Hector very happy with his, homemade piece of bread, right?
Oh, that's nice.
It's a way
Yeah.
to contribute, right? And I always tell Hector, please, no, I'm not going to charge you. So I mean, it's that one wanting to share and to serve, right? And I agree with Sammy. This can be a way you're not getting paid. You know, for example, I used to when I was learning at Pasadena with Mr. Tatum. Um, I used to go to Starbucks, and buy some coffee every now and then. Just get him the cup of coffee, right? And I mean, why not? You're getting so much from your instructors, right?
It goes a long way. It goes a long way. And you know what? My school, it always needs to be clean. Always. You know how it is.
Exactly.
Those mirrors always need to be wiped down all the time.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Abraham. Excellent. Said your son has the right spirit. Yeah, he learned. No, he's a great kid. He's a great kid. I have great kids. Yeah. Yeah. And on the other side, I remember one long time ago, and I also learned the hard way. This was this kid. He was like 16 years old, probably. He was a teenager. And he came to the studio and he said he didn't have money, but he wanted to learn, blah, blah, blah. And I said, okay, kid, don't worry. You go in and, from time to time, you can help me out with cleaning the windows or cleaning the mat, right? I didn't need him to do anything. Okay, I already had people doing that stuff, but he wanted to learn. I didn't want to give it out for free, and so he said, okay. Next time he comes to class, he said, my father asked me if you were going to pay me or you're going to give me any type of work benefits for being here working for you. So I said, okay, kid, you're not allowed to be here. I'm sorry, I cannot teach you unless you pay. That was just me trying to be nice to you and giving you an offer in a way, just a way for you to pay for what you were going to get for free. But, it's such and such, I'm charging whatever, $100 a month. You need to pay the fee. Otherwise, you're gone. He said, no. Your opportunity is gone now. Said, and tell your father that he has to pay because he's responsible for you, right? So ask him to come in, talk to me, and I'll tell him what the fees are.
Did he ever do that?
Sure enough, they paid. They did. So they did have the money. So that's when I learned, that this was a long time ago. This was like 23, 24 years ago. And I was learning at that time. But, I had that spirit. I want to teach everybody, right? I want to help everybody, right? Mm-hmm. And then I said, okay. And I just never offered that again, and I did have students that didn't pay, but I never offered. Mm-hmm. Right? When they ask, oh, I don't have money, I said, okay, so how do you want to pay? Because I'm not going to give you this for free. How do you want to pay? Oh, well, I can do this, I can do that. Are you sure? You think that's fair? Yeah, okay, let me think about it. So I switch, right? Mm-hmm. And because people needs to understand that the value of it. They need to see the value of it. Otherwise, they tend to ditch it or minimize it.
Yeah, and I think that sometimes too, it could be part of human nature to take advantage. I think this father did you a favor because that was 20 years ago and you never did it again. I would give stuff away, and then in hindsight is 2020, but you look back and people took advantage of me. I was all this I thought I was being so generous and doing the right thing. And there's always people who are going to take advantage. I think most people are grateful and they work hard and they try, and they hold you in regard for helping. But there's always people who are going to take advantage of you, if you let them.
Well, and sure enough, people has taken advantage of me when it comes to grade, to give rank away. Yeah. Well, I have people coming. Kempo is coming from other Kempo schools, telling me that, well, the instructor is so bad and they didn't promote. Their instructor didn't promote them or whatever, and they know the material, blah blah blah, and so forth. And I said, okay, don't worry, I'll give you the rank. Okay, let me see what you do. Yeah, I know you do well. There's the rank. I won't charge a thing. Just give it out of my good heart. And you know what they do? They ask for more. And they tell their friend, or they go and tell their friends, go to Frank. He's going to give you rank for free. So I think charging for rank is not a bad thing.
Right. Yeah.
Now, when you have a student in a small studio and a person that's been training with you every day, that off and how they are, and if they deserve it or not, and they pay their monthly fees, and they're there for the studio and they're there for school, then as reward, then you can give rank without charging for the test fee. Then I understand. But see, that's the thing. It's about balance. It's not that simple. There's always so many other things. Let's see. Scorch 1028 says, in every dojo that I have ever walked into, it was understood that I had to pay up front for my first lesson. Good. In every Starbucks I have ever walked into, it is understood that I have to pay for my coffee before I ask for it. Yeah. It's same things with the restaurants and every service, sir. Yes. It is what it is. And that's a good thing. Can you imagine going to a restaurant and they didn't have prices for, set for their plates or the dishes, and you don't know how much you're going to pay. And then at the end, they said, okay, sir, it's time to pay. Please, uh, just go into the back, wash all the dishes, clean the kitchen, and then you're set to go. That's how you're paying. We don't charge with money. You need to work, for example, right? So it's simple. Yes, thank you, Scorch 1028. Yeah, that's how
Yeah,
it is.
it's true. Yeah, it's not everything's up for negotiation. Yeah.
Yeah, and I do have people coming in and saying, "Oh, how much is the rank?" For example, from other schools, right? Black belts that want to come into the association and they want to get rank because people fish for rank
Yeah, they
because
do.
well, it's capitalism. In a way, they feel they're entitled, and I understand. I'm not criticizing anybody, but then they ask, and well, for example, what's your fee? I don't know. Let's say I charge $200 for a black belt. Let's say I'm just making it up. I said, what? I don't have that type of money. And they start negotiating. And they're like, what? Negotiating? See, you want to get rank, you need to learn all this material. You need to pass a test. You need to wear my crest or whatever is association things that you need to do, right? And then we'll talk about fees, right?
Exactly.
So I think paying a fee is just another requisite or requirement for rank. That's how I see it. It's just another requirement. Whether it's a high fee or a low fee, it's just another requirement that you need to do, right? Or to pay or to fulfill in order to get that rank.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you have to, and I think for me, when people are paying for my time, that's good enough for me right now. But I understand that, on an international level, if you're charging people, for your logo and your time, of course, but yeah, you have to be able to charge those fees.
Yeah, and going back to ranking and earning rank, I think setting the requirements, it's also very important,
Mm-hmm.
right? The student need to know what is it that they need to learn and they need to pass, right? What is it that I need to display? What are the skills that are, that I need to gain to get that into that level? That's
Mm-hmm.
also important, and make it clear for them, right? And that way, it is a solo path, yes, but they feel it's fair for everybody, that everybody has to pass the same requirements,
Of
right? And that's
course,
also
right,
important. That's also
right.
important. So having a curriculum, that being said, having a curriculum in your school, I think it's important.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And I come from, American Kempo has a very set, very well structured curriculum. And for a while, and I'm saying this out of experience because for a while I took the curriculum out, and I wanted to make it so for the individual, blah, blah, blah. It just didn't work. It didn't work.
So do you, American Kempo, is it the same across the board from one school to another?
Uh, Mostly, yes.
Mostly?
Yeah, I mean there tweaks here and there, but there is a program. Yes,
I
there is
think
there,
that
there
in
is a
in
curriculum.
um, in CCDP and the stick fighting, I definitely am bound by a curriculum set by headquarters, and that's super helpful. I know in Taekwondo, it's been so homogenized in this country that it's almost studio to studio, unless you're part of, a federation, and I'm not. And in Taekwondo, I think the industry standard is once you earn your third degree black belt, you become a franchise unto yourself. And so you can set whatever curriculum you want. And I've done that. I have my own curriculum. I don't know if it would match up with the guy down the street, but I know that for Taekwondo practitioners, it's very difficult to go from school to school. And I have a real sympathy for people that, maybe they're in the middle of their career en route to black belt, and the family moves or they move, and they want to get to a new school. And in some ways, it's starting over a little bit. You have to learn whatever those schools' requirements are. I guess with the forms that I do, I chose as a particular lineage that is widespread. It's the Olympic Committee lineage of forms, and I did that on purpose. I would never ask somebody to come in and take off their rank ever, but they would be responsible to learn my curriculum to move forward. And it's tough. I get it. I get it. You don't want to leave anybody. You know, you want to get all your students through to black belt. It's hard to start at a new school.
Yeah.
At least in Taekwondo. That's in my experience.
Well, see, I think having your own curriculum is not a bad thing. For example, I don't teach just the American Kempo curriculum anymore. I got my own unique thing going on. I still like that curriculum and I still use it, but I have added other things that I think they're necessary to adapt Kempo to the new generations, to my environment. I mean, I live down in Mexico. It's not the same that is the US, especially in self-defense scenarios. Not the same. So not the same laws, not the same society, not the same type of crime. It's just different, right? Not the same mentality. Latinos don't think the way Americans do. We think differently. It is what it is. I'm not saying it's better or worse. It's just different motivations, different ways of setting goals.
Culturally,
right?
Of course.
Right. So I think that's also a part of it. But yes, American Kempo is very well standardized, and there were books made, there were manuals made when Mr. Parker was alive, and he set all the standards, right? But people do change, but there's like a general understanding of what you need to learn. So, and I think that's also good. It's helpful, right? To have a standardized version, it's also helpful. Let me see. We have some people saying hello. Juan Martín Álvarez, saludos, maestro desde Argentina. Big hug, saludos. Ernesto Colbert, saludos, maestros. Saludos, gracias. Let's see. Danny Arnold says, I'm not paying for a belt. I'm paying for my instructor's knowledge and time and their investment in me. Thank you. Yes, cool. And I'm happy to do it. You're the man, Mr. Arnold. Yes. Thank you. Ivan Castillo says, saludos, Master Soto and Guro Kathrin. A big salute from Bucaramanga, Colombia. Thank you, sir. Let's see. Scorch 1028 says, Sensei Victor Moore said that in the 1950s, many dojos will not accept students under age 18 because they wanted their students to take their classes seriously.
Fair enough. You go. I understand that.
Yeah, but see, and it was different times. Yes. Maestro Rafael Herrera, big salute from Spain, señores and great maestros. Gracias, maestro. Salud. Okay, so yes, I think I really like this topic, though. I mean, I think it's getting very interesting. Yeah, but I think that whatever works for the instructor and their school and their students, it's fine. As long as you have, you're honest and you're ethical about it. I don't see anything wrong in charging fees. I don't see anything wrong in not charging fees. I think whatever works. I mean, for example, I remember hearing, and I could be wrong, but I remember hearing this, that in a Gracie Jiu-Jitsu school, there was this thing that they did. Once you were ready to go for the next belt, the student will grapple with you, take your belt off without you noticing, and putting the other belt on while you were grappling. And by the time you end up grappling your instructor, you look down and you have a new belt. And I actually seen it on video somewhere on YouTube.
Wow. Wow, that is so cool. I've never heard of anything like that. That's neat.
I mean, I think that's like, when I heard that, it was like, wow, that's amazing, right? So they just give you the rank whenever you're ready, right? Whenever your instructor feels that you're ready and you have trained whatever, learned whatever you need to learn, I don't know, then you get your rank. That's another way. I think it's valid, right? But that being said, I like that the students test. I like putting them in the
Mhm.
pressure of testing. I think it's a good tool for them.
I do too. I like the formality of it all. I like the
Yes.
pomp and circumstance and the seriousness. And um, there's instructors that will say, and I say it too. You know, you're really testing every day. And I know instructors that you finish a class one day and you've promoted, right? And there is no formal test that you've achieved that rank and you never really know when it's coming. So I've seen that too. I get it. I understand why they do that.
And if it works for them, it's fine. Like this example of this guy, getting the belt that way. That's a very unique way, right? It must be a very nice surprise. But I mean, I like it as much as I like it. I wouldn't do it that way. I like setting the ritual, doing the formality, giving the rank out, and explaining why you have earned the rank, and making you feel that you know put you into that pressure of testing in front of everybody, right? You need to look good in front
That's
of
good.
everybody. I like that because
That's good.
that's why I experienced, and I liked it as well as a student. So
I
uh,
tell my students too, you know, if you don't feel those butterflies, if you're just shucking and jiving, there's something wrong. You know, hopefully you're feeling those butterflies. I know that when I test, I sure do. You know, boy, it's a
exactly.
big deal. I get it.
Let's see. Cat ACC has hello from your fan in the San Francisco Bay Area.
She is
Nice.
she has so much promise as a stick fighter. She's a natural athlete anyway.
Cool. Cool.
Boy, I'd love to do more stick fighting with her. Yeah.
Nice. Nice. Joanne Bogue says, my son and I both tested for our ranks and belt. My son tested all the way through first degree black belt. Nice. Congratulations. So cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and see, that's another thing. I like this. When you have uh, uh, a mother and a son, or a father and a son testing, right, together, and you can share that with your kid. Wow, I think that's
There's
that's
nothing like it.
fantastic. Yes,
There's
yes,
nothing like it. Wow.
that's so amazing. Having families involved in martial arts together, I think is super cool.
Mhm.
So yes, testing for me, it's an important tool. Like I said, I was in conflict for a while with belts and geese and all those things, but it was just me, I guess, having a tantrum uh, against the martial arts, but now I really understand the importance of the symbols and the importance of the rituals. And I think they're truly, truly, truly important. Having rituals in your practice of the art, I think it's a must. I believe so. Let's see. Sam Abraham says, does it ever bother any of you when you notice the student working extra hard, training more at home, showing more improvement just because a test is coming up? I'm
Mhm.
like, where is that effort all the time? Well, I I don't see it as a bad thing, Mr. Abraham. I think some people get motivated for different things. I think if they can get motivated with a test, it's not a bad thing. But I think we should, as instructor, we should try to bring that same type of motivation to that student on an everyday basis. And that's not always simple, but I try not to judge that. But yes, I understand what you're saying, and I guess it can be a problem for some. Yes, for sure. But also, tests are the thing is for us Westerns, we are so used to test for different things. You go to school, you test, right? You go to whatever, you test, and everything is like a test, right? And you get used to the test. So people getting motivated by testing, it's a product of their habits or their routines or the system, right? I mean, it can be.
Right, right.
Let's see. I'm looking for. I wanted to share something about rituals. I'm trying. I'm just looking for a note, but
One of
yeah.
the things one of the things that you had mentioned earlier too is that you'll have students that aren't interested in rank promotion, and I've had students tell me that too, until they see their peers promoting and they understand that, well, I know the same material that they do. I think I want to be recognized for it. So I do see that, but it never really stays that way. I think people want to be acknowledged in one way or another, whether it's by belt or a certificate or some sort of acknowledgement of their skills and their knowledge, and yeah, so it never really lasts. But
Right.
it's a good effort to be real zen and say you don't care about rank promotion.
Yeah, and there's something like I said, the rituals are important uh, because it's a ritual, and I'm translating this. It's an incredible way of entwining or bringing together the spiritual with the physical. You know, heaven with earth, which you say, right? So the ritual is like a stroke in the canvas of our lives, and that's how we bring together the sacred with the daily stuff, right?
Oh, very good.
So that's why rituals are so big in the martial arts. Like, for example, when you come in the studio and you bow, or you change your daily your regular clothes, your civilian clothes, your daily clothes, and you put on a gi, a uniform, right? That's a ritual right there. And it's what it's teaching you to what to respect and to make, to bring in that
Mindset.
sacred, that sacred or spiritual importance into martial arts. Because one of the things that we need to understand about martial arts is it is a knowledge and a wisdom that comes, and I know this is probably going to sound bad, but it is. It comes with blood. People has given their lives, and they have bled for this knowledge to be here today.
That's fair.
So,
Yes.
so we need to respect that. We really do. And by bowing and respecting the instructor and putting on a belt and putting on a uniform and doing some type of meditation at the beginning and the end of the class, those are all rituals, right? And you might salute, a kamidana or a flag or a photo or whatever. And they say, oh, you're giving reverence to the person. No, you're just showing respect to the ones that were before you, respect to the activity itself, and trying to make and bring together the spiritual, which is the invisible, with the physical, which is the visible part, right? So uh,
I love that. And like you said, something about putting on the uniform. To this day, it changes my mindset. Putting on that uniform. Yeah, to this day, it is
why?
very important. Yeah.
Why? Because you're connecting with all the ones before you that were wearing that same uniform.
Mhm.
You
Yeah, it
connect
puts you into this different mindset
in the
that
warrior.
something very, very important and very grand is going to happen.
It brings out the warrior in you, right? I mean, I know it sounds as a cliche, but it's true. It brings that warrior,
Mhm.
right? And you can feel that energy. You can because why? Because you respect the ritual.
Mhm. It brings out the warrior. I think it also brings out the best person that I am, the kindest, the most patient person that I can be, the most generous person that I know how to be. It brings out all those attributes. Yeah, and I see it with my students too. Sometimes I'll see them right after school, in some of the kids' classes, and they're squirrely, they're bouncing off the walls, right? They've been in school all day, and boy, they put on that uniform and strap that belt on, and I see it. I see this sort of grounded clarity happen when they bow in, and it's something to behold. And I love seeing the look on parents' faces when they see that this level of seriousness in their children. It's great. Love it.
And that's what makes martial arts such a special activity. It is special because it brings the best out of you. That's when martial arts are done correctly. That's the way, the do, right? That's why they created the do,
Yes.
the do, or the way of the warrior, for you to become a better person, to bring the best out of yourself, to feel that way, to be that way, to be a better version of yourself. That's it. That's the way. That's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Nice, nice. Okay, let's see. Joanne says, one ritual or doyo had was when you changed belts, you had to say the creed that went with that belt. Nice. I am a blue going into green in American Kempo, but if you ask me, I will tell you I am a white belt and always will be.
Oh, that's an elevated attitude for sure.
Nice. Thank you for sharing. Yes. Yes. So yeah, in Kempo there are pledges actually for every level of.
That's interesting. That's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. So yes, I think testing and belts are definitely a part of the rituals of the martial arts. Are an important part. Uh, Same with the gi or the uniform and the bowing or whatever salute that you have, whether it's with your hands or with the stick or those rituals make the activity important, and it can even be taken to a level of sacred in a way. And I'm not talking about God or anything like that. Now that's another thing, or religion. No, it's just that it's so important in my life, right? For me, I can say that without martial arts, I probably would be dead by now. Maybe I would have drunk myself to death for sure when I was a kid. Right, and I stopped drinking because of the martial arts, or got into an accident, or whatever. Right, for me, martial arts, I owe a lot to the activity itself, and it has given me so much. Kempo has given me so much. I'm always grateful to the art itself and to the people, to the ancestors that were there and that brought Kempo into what we have today. And it's the same thing, I guess, with any art, right? I think that's important.
Well, I'm grateful that we can continue to contribute to our arts, and we stand on the shoulders of many people, but we are also contributing. And so I'm happy that I can bring something to the table.
Yeah, and see, it's because of martial arts that I got to know you, and then we got to talk to all these people, and the people are listening. It's all because of the martial arts. So if you ask me, do you believe they're sacred? Yes, they take me closer to people, and they get me closer to, or they make me a better person, right? And in my own way, I feel closer to God or the divine or whatever you want to call it, because I am a better person because of this. So for me, yes, definitely. Let me just bring some of the comments that we have. Mr. Arnold says, I think, at least for me, that when a person says they want rank, what they are really saying is that they want that level of understanding and skill that comes with rank. But it maybe gets misunderstood that the person is chasing belts. The belts are a great reward for your work put in, of course, but what you're really after is the knowledge and understanding. That's what I truly want. Nice, Mr. Arnold. Beautiful.
Well, I think also, especially with a black belt, when you earn that black belt, I think no matter where you go, it will initially speak for you. You can walk in anywhere, and if you're wearing that black belt, it will say something about you. After that, you have to fill that rank, but at first blush, it will speak for you.
Yes, definitely. Scorch 1028 said, it is interesting to me to see the Filipino martial arts infused with so many traditional styles today. Cool. Well, we are out of time. It's been an hour already. Wow.
Happened. It goes so quick.
That was fast. So thank you so much. And thank you, everybody that was watching today and that made a comment. Mr. Arnold, Scorch 1028, Mr. Ibrahim, Joanne Bogues, Kat, Rafael, Ivan Castillo, Ernesto, Juan Martin, Mary Hallett. Oh, she's going to be in the show this month. So we have many people coming in. Don't stop watching this. Every Thursday we go live, 11 a.m. Pacific time. Is it Pacific daytime now or Pacific time?
Oh, right, with the daylight savings time. Yeah, I think you and I are finally on the same schedule.
Yes, yes. So thank you, Guru. There's anything else you want to say to wrap it up?
Well, I'm just, I guess one of the things that occurred to me is it's really enjoyable for me to I'm so honored to be able to extend rank promotion. You know, it's just such a joy for me. It's one of the highlights of running a school is that I'm honored and I get to extend rank promotion to people. That's a pretty big deal. It's an enormous responsibility. And it's one of my favorite things about running a school.
Cool, cool. So let me just remind you, everybody, if you are in the Squim area, go and visit Guro Kathrin Sumpter. Let's see, let me put the website. There it is. Okay, that's the phone number. That's the school. Swim, martial arts, taekwondo, MMA, and weapons. Yes, sir. Okay, there she is. Cacoy Cañete, 12 pares, scream stick fighting. Don't miss the opportunity if you're there. I really, really recommend it. Guro Kathrin, it's an amazing and a very passionate martial artist and teacher, so take the advantage. Thank you. Take care, and bye-bye.